have dominated, Ellen. Actually, Manchester City, more in possession, 59% of the possession.
Yeah, obviously, they want to possess the ball. Obviously, Manchester United capitalised on a few mistakes. Obviously, are very clinical in front of goal. I'd say the last kind of 15 minutes, Manchester City have really kind of gone for it. They've got the ball out wide. Carolyn Nickley on the ball, really exciting prospect. And I just feel like they need to do more with the ball in the wide areas, get more people in the box to be able to progress the ball forward, to be able to actually have a chance at scoring a goal against Manchester United. But Manchester United defended very well and been very, very clinical when they've had chances.
Yeah, Siobhan, Manchester United really look on the front foot and really look hungry.
They do. Right from the outset, they were pressing high, they were forcing errors. And as you said, clinical, I think is the word. They were very clinical to start with. They created other opportunities. You said Kiara Keating's made some good saves as well to keep the scoreline low and to keep City in it. And if City are going to get back into it, they need to be more ruthless in front of goal. They've had opportunities, but they haven't really forced too much from Fallon Tollis-Joyce in the United goal.
Yeah, Steph, look, we know you still have links with the club. Nick has brought you back in terms of on the coaching staff as well. So what was the plan all week coming into this one, and what will he be saying now at half-time?
I think at half-time, this is about belief and mentality. I think, of course, you don't want to be 2-0 down at half-time, and I do think Manchester United really stifled us in the first 15-20 minutes. This is a cup game, it's a Manchester derby, and you've got to earn that right to play, and we didn't do that in the first 20 minutes. Obviously, Mary Fowler went off, Colin went as a 9, and it provided us a little bit more of an outlet, but in them first 20 minutes, we weren't at the races, and ultimately, we're a club that wants to control the ball, but ultimately, that doesn't guarantee you winning football games, and at this moment in time, Manchester United have been the better side.
Well, it was a great goal to get things off and running, wasn't it, Ellen? We spoke about goals coming into this one, but this one, the quality of it from Bissett was up there.
Yeah, it was a beautiful finish, and I think it starts with Gracie Pryor. She needs to get the ball longer, clear her lines. Millie Turner with a great interception into Grace Clinton, and then Ella Toone's been very, very good this half. A beautiful little dinked pass into Bouzette, who's come from out to in across Muhabi, and she manages to cut it back on her right foot, which I really like. And firstly, let's just talk about this lovely ball from Ella Toone, right over the top, and it's just a lovely run as well. But it's a lovely cut by Bissett, and I just don't think Kiara Keating can get to that. And I'm sure, Steph, you could probably talk about the defending for Man City.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great goal from United's point of view. I think a great ball, a great run. But ultimately for Manchester City, when in them transition moments, you have to be able to defend and you have to be able to get bodies behind the ball. And we don't initially get the great pressure on the ball. And Gracie Pryor here, she's a young player. Started a lot of games recently, probably unexpectedly, but I think you've got to not turn your back and you've got to try and get pressure on the ball as much as possible. But them first 5 minutes, United very ruthless, and their tempo was and intensity really kind of startled City.
Yeah, Celine Bissett with her 5th goal of this season there. Look, at the top of the show, we spoke about Grace Clinton, and Mark Skinner was saying about this season, adding more physicality and more presence, and she definitely showed that to make it 2-0, Siobhan.
She sure did. She's not the tallest player out there by any stretch of the imagination, but she wanted it more here. And you can see her there diving in to get her head on contact. She got the wrong side. Grace Pryor got the wrong side of her. She used her physicality as Mark Skinner's wanted, and she wanted it more. And that's why it ended up in the back of the net. It's a fantastic delivery in from Gabby George, which gives her the opportunity, but you can see how much that means to that side there.
And once again, Steph, from a defensive point of view from Manchester City,
it's poor, to be honest. I think especially in the middle of the goal when you're defending a corner, it's about getting them first contacts, it's about using your body, and it's about getting between you and the player. And unfortunately for Gracie, it didn't happen today, but ultimately this was in a spell where Man United were putting a lot of pressure on City, so them corners were coming, you could sense it was coming, and 10-15 more minutes to scored another goal. But ultimately that's a great learning point for Gracie, and we have to turn things around second half.
I think they're just lacking that little bit of leadership, a little bit of communication. And I feel like you just needed someone to kind of, after that first goal, right, we're going to clear our lines, let's get together, let's move the ball, let's not put ourselves in difficult positions. We don't want corners, but there's someone's got to header it. You've got to have that presence, haven't you, in that box to demand it. Even Kiara, everybody's got to get on that ball. You've got to be marking, you've got to be touch tight. And I think that was a bit frustrating to see from Man City today.
I think the good thing for Manchester United fans to see at the moment is the form of Ella Toone, Siobhan, and once again really making an impact this game in the first half.
Definitely, she's been brilliant. And when Ella Toone is up for a game, you know about it. The delivery here, Bizet makes it easy for her in a way. She initiates the movement, but Ella Toone's got to pick her out, and she does it perfectly. When she's lively, she picks up those pockets on the edge of the box, she turns, she drives forward, she wants to get involved, she wants to get in the box, she wants to make things happen. And I'm sure, Steph, as a defender, you hate to defend against a player like that.
Yeah, it's hard, and I think this has been part of the problem for Manchester City this half, is that we've not been able to get enough pressure on Ella Toone. But I think when you've got someone like Ella Toone with her technical capabilities, or also her assists, her goals, she is what's making United tick at this moment in time. I think even this one, that touch, that control, but the ability to play forward, think forward as much as possible. This is where United's chances are coming from, because she's had a little bit of a free rein in the middle of the park, and I think with the United's quality, that's a great save by Chiara Keaton. That could have been 3-0 and game's over then, but ultimately in the second half, Manchester City have to stop Ella Toone.
Yeah, and I suppose looking ahead to the summer, it's great for the Lionesses to see her hitting this kind of form going into the summer.
Yeah, because she had a little injury just before Christmas, and we were wondering obviously how she would be when she came back, but ultimately she came back absolutely flying. I think you can see that time out of football has kind of done in the world of good, but also we know what qualities Ella Toone brings, and for those players like Ella Toone, Grace Clinton, even though I'm saying it for Manchester United, it's great for the Lionesses to get that experience playing big games, and hopefully they can replicate that in the summer.
Okay, let's have a look at Kerolin, the only Manchester City chance of the half. Their first shot on target, Ellen.
Yeah, no, I feel like her going into that number 9 role, I feel like we saw a lot more from her. This is an unbelievable strike. Great from Tullis Joyce to be able to save it, but I feel like getting her in these positions, we know what she can do, we know what she's capable, but to be able to have the ball come over your shoulder and to make that connection, it's a really, really hard thing to do, and I feel like that's where you need it. You need to get the ball out wide, more bodies in the box. Caroline Nickley needs to get her on the ball. She's exciting.
No, she is exciting. I think in that number 9 position, there's a lot of responsibility now. You've got to do the press, but also you've got to try and create stuff, and I think that move for Kirsten Kasperai to go out right wing, you've got pace to burn, you've got pace on the other side as well, with Caroline down the middle. That's going to be an advantage for Manchester City, and they've got to come out and start bright.
I was just going to say about this one, if Carolyn's going out to that side, you need bodies then into the box to fill the space. That was an amazing position for someone, a midfielder, just to be following up, just to pass it into the back of the net, and I think that's been frustrating as well. Maybe something to talk about next half.
And Siobhan, look, we spoke about Mark Skinner coming into this one, signing a new contract to 2027. Once again, for the 3rd time in a row, he has got this team to Wembley.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and it's just got to go that one step further. They lost their first FA Cup final at Wembley to Chelsea, and now they've got the time to redeem themselves from that loss and get one over Chelsea, and hopefully for them prevent that quadruple. But it's a great performance from the team, and team selection, he got it on point. There were question marks about Dominic Janssen not being in the starting lineup. She started 99% of games for him, but he got it right. Fantastic performance and into the final.
And look, they are the holders. It's their chance. Yes, they are playing Chelsea, and everyone knows the talent that team possess, but Manchester United, they are the current holders, and they get the chance to retain this trophy.
Exactly, and Maya Letizier said in the interview, it's ours. It's our trophy, and they want to retain it. And they'll put everything that they have to retain that trophy at Wembley. With their fans there against Chelsea, it'll be so exciting. It's an amazing occasion being an FA Cup final. I can't wait, Elle.
I can't wait either, else. I tell you, 18th of May, we will be there. Okay, let's remind ourselves how Manchester United did it, because it started with a wonder goal, Siobhan.
What a way to start this game. We wanted it to start quickly, and boy, it started quickly. A great interception, but here the way Grace Clinton links up with Ella Toone, and this pass from Ella Toone is phenomenal. The run from Bizet, she cuts in field, she makes it easy for Ella Toone. She knows exactly where she wants it, and she puts it on a plate for her. The touch again opens up and leaves Chiara Keaton with absolutely no chance. It's a phenomenal finish.
It's a lovely finish. The run, the pass. Obviously, yes, we'll question the defending, but the way she kind of cuts on her right foot and just curls that past Chiara Keaton, it's what Manchester United needed to do. They were very clinical in front of goal, and they did all their hard work in that first 45 minutes. Tullis Joyce had an unbelievable second half, but this is such a wonderful finish by Bizet.
Steph, is this the stuff that you will now go away, part of Manchester City, and analyse from a defensive point of view?
Yeah, there's so much we can work on. Look, you've got a 19-year-old in Gracie Pryor that's come to the academy, and she's played a lot of games recently, and should she be in the team? And this is not down to individual performance, but ultimately we're trying to build a squad to go and win trophies, and we're missing the captain, Alex Greenwood, we're missing some key players, and that has proved the difference over these last few months. And without a doubt, that strength and depth isn't there at this club, and it's something that we need to kind of address and look forward to. But ultimately, I think second half, City kind of made Man United work, but the game was done in the first 10-15 minutes.
Okay, as you can see, Grace Clinton now joins us. We've just pulled you away from the celebrations. A huge congratulations for you personally. What does it mean to be now going to Wembley in a Manchester United shirt?
Yeah, it's massive. I think, we want to win trophies at this club, so it's really exciting, and hopefully I get to play, hopefully.
How did it feel last year, obviously sitting at Wembley and watching Manchester United lift that trophy?
It was a weird feeling. I'm very competitive, so obviously I want to be lifting as many trophies as possible, but they're the girls that I've known for a few years, and they were still in my heart as well, so yeah, I couldn't really explain it.
Okay, Grace, we're going to look at how you made it 2-0 for your team. Ellen's going to help you analyse this goal, break it down for us.
It's just all physicality, isn't it? Just getting your head on the ball.
Yeah.
Is this something you've worked on the training pitch, getting in front of the defender?
Yeah, it's funny actually. I was doing it with Rach yesterday, and sometimes
Williams.
Yeah, Rach Williams,
okay.
and she's the best of the best at it. But I was like in training, when you're just like taking it a bit easy, and she was like, you've got to grab me, you've got to get me. So I was like, fine, I'll do that then. And
that is typical Rach Williams.
Exactly, but it comes to fruition, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. So yeah.
Fair play.
You played a couple of different roles within the team this year. You've been out on the right, you've played centrally. Today you and Ella Toone played centrally together, which you haven't done a lot of times. Is that your best position in there?
Obviously it depends on formations, and different managers play me in different positions. I think I just was looking at it like it's a derby, so I just got to go out there and just get stuck in, really. That's what I was thinking.
Grace, it's not been a bad season for you to move back to Man United from your season at Spurs, but also England debut. Is there a little eye on the Lionesses squad this summer?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to play in a major tournament?
Good answer.
Yeah, it would be a dream. It would. Yeah, I'd love that.
Well, hopefully Wembley first, and then obviously making the Lionesses squad. But how many tickets are you allowed? Are you allocated? Because are you now going to get messages from all your family and friends saying that they want to be there?
I think so. I'm going to have to turn my phone off. Or no.
Just a quick one about the travelling fans, because they were so supportive, so loud today. And what does that mean?
They're always there. I think with United we have probably the best fans. They come away, they come home, and they're so loud. They have songs for everyone. Yeah, they're amazing.
Okay, Grace, we'll let you go and celebrate with the rest of your team. We'll see you at Wembley. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I think the smile says it all, but she has continued to improve, hasn't she?
Yeah, she had a phenomenal season at Tottenham, scored a lot of goals, assisted as well, and it feels like she's come back to Man United and really worked on her development, her physicality in both boxes, also her scoring ability. She can score from pretty much anywhere, so I feel like she's really stamped her authority to play in that midfield.
Okay, let's get over to Jo, who's with the Manchester City manager, Nick Cushing, right now.
Nick, I'm sure disappointed doesn't even cover it today. It looked like an uphill battle from the start of the game. What do you put that slow start down to?
I suppose that's going to be the sort of inquest for us is why we start so slow. I think, in the modern game now we talk so much about tactics and so much about systems and so much about, the beautiful side of the game. It's a good example of one team not competing there, and we didn't compete from the start. We didn't win any second balls, we didn't win any tackles, we didn't win any duels, and if you don't do that side of the game, you'll never earn the right to play.
It's hard to believe you lost another player to injury today, but whether you're here or not next season, does that just show that money needs to be spent to make the depth of this squad better?
I don't think that's the main issue. I think ultimately the big issue for us is how we get the 11 players, 12 players that are injured now, fit and healthy, because we do have depth in the team. If we have Viv Miedemar, Jill Rudd, Bunny Shaw, Alex Greenwood, Lauren Hem, Mary Fowler, we can keep going, right? We have those players. We have a team that can compete with anybody, but we don't. And today you've seen a team that has been playing a lot of football. But my disappointment today is that we didn't start with the desire that we needed.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it has been a tough season for Manchester City, Steph. It's hard with the amount of injuries and when you're looking at your squad depth as well.
Yeah, it is, and I think some of the players that you named there, I think they walk into most teams in the WSL. I mean, you take away Bunny Shaw, you take away Vivian Miedema, you take away Alex Greenwood, that plays absolutely every single minute. Like, that's a spine of experienced players, but also good quality players, and that poses more questions for opposition. But unfortunately, you just not had the rub of the green this season. Obviously, the managerial change as well. I think that adds another kind of factor to the kind of performances that we've seen over the last few months. But ultimately, this is a big learning curve, and it's how we get better as a club going forward.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to the 18th of May. It's a repeat of the final, Chelsea taking on Manchester United 2023. How do you see it going?
Are you going to make me do a prediction?
Not yet, just in general, Els.
I think it's going to be really exciting. I think obviously Chelsea want the quadruple, Man United want to retain the trophy. You've got some amazingly talented attacking players, very good defensive players as well, good goalkeepers. I could keep going on and on. No, I think it's just going to be really exciting, especially for the neutral, but the fans in that stadium, it's going to be rocking.
It is, and when you play at a full Wembley, an FA Cup final, the passion that the fans bring, that first cup final there between Manchester United and Chelsea, the atmosphere was phenomenal, and I have no doubt that it will be exactly the same this year.
Okay, well, we know who the finalist is. Chelsea are taking on Manchester United, and we cannot wait. We will return with WSL action the 23rd of April as Chelsea will be hosting Palace. Thank you all for today. We will see you then.